name examples.
I think we have to, we're
not
getting
anywhere.
outside the realm of discussion. I think it can be answered by this. In order to change it, we have to negotiate the contract. We can't just offer a certain amount. And whether we agree with you or not, we're bound by a contract. So in order to make any changes, we'd have to negotiate that contract at the time we can negotiate the contract. So we're having a discussion on something that can't be changed right now. And we take your opinion, but there's nothing that, if I understand it correctly, there's nothing that we can do at the present time, Curtis.
I'm happy with that. Go ahead and schedule a discussion for the next council meeting so that we can discuss it.
The labor agreement, I don't know when that comes up.
It doesn't matter when the labor agreement comes up. You can have a discussion about
Yes, that's
anything
true.
you want if you schedule it. You are in control of the agenda, are you not?
Yes, we are.
Cool. Will that be the next agenda then?
Adam, I leave that up to you.
Actually, it's up to you, Mayor.
Actually, you're welcome to have anything on the agenda,
Yeah.
but it won't change the fact that without changing the labor negotiated agreement,
But you don't seem very willing to disclose tonight the method that you would actually have to go through to change the system.
Well, explain.
Because it's outside of the realm of tonight's conversation.
well, no, I'd be happy to tell you about it. We set a labor negotiation team. The management has a team that is appointed by the mayor, usually every 2 years. And that committee on an annual, well, typically it's been on an annual basis.
What date?
I'm sorry?
What date is that typical?
When does negotiations begin, or when does the appointment begin?
When do the negotiations begin?
The negotiations usually take place sometime between October and February of a particular year, assuming that there is a need to negotiate for labor that year.
When you say October to February, you're talking over the new year?
Well, over the end of 1 year into the
Okay.
next year,
Okay,
calendar-wise.
sure.
That is the period of time where negotiations take place. The actual changes would not be instituted until July, which would be the fiscal calendar year. So the negotiations take place a few months before the fiscal calendar year comes into place. And that is all contingent upon the budget process, which needs to be in place to the auditor by March 15th.
Are the labor negotiations scheduled yet for this period?
They're currently have been ongoing, yes.
They've been ongoing starting on what date?
We first met beginning of this month, I believe.
And who are the members of the negotiating team, both sides?
The management side this year is Jim Johnston and Gary Hansen.
What a shock. Who else?
The negotiation team on the employee side is determined by the employees. Mike Ricks is the main representative for the employees.
Is anyone else representing the employees?
I believe so. Usually, I believe most of the managers are representatives of the team.
All of the managers are showing up for all negotiation meetings?
Well, I think we had one that wasn't at the first meeting in December. I can't remember.
They all show up, I believe.
When you say manager, do you mean department head?
Correct.
Right.
And then they come to some kind of mutual agreement on an agreement for whatever is negotiated, whether it's salary, whether it's benefits, whether it's the policy related to employee activities and functions, and then all of that then comes forward at that time to the council.
How many years in a row have Hansen and Johnston been on the negotiation side for the taxpayer side?
This is the first year I've been on.
First year.
Have you ever been on it before?
Previously I have, but I haven't for 4 years.
Has Hansen ever been on it before?
Gary was on it last year along with Brian Muska, and I believe they were both on it for that 2-year cycle prior to that. I'd have to check, but I believe it was Muska and Hansen that were the representatives the last 2 years prior to this year.
All right, thanks. That's all the questions we got.
Thank you.